was you! I should have worn my white pants!
Okay guys, before we get cracking on this Juggernaut build, I'd just like to show you around my new makerspace. I've been working on it for about 3 months now. I had to remove the old asbestos shed and then lay new foundation for this one. And I've also had to do quite a bit of overtime in work to pay for it all. So that's why there's been a lack of videos on the channel, but with this space that I've got now, I should be able to do some pretty big 3D prints. Eventually I'm going to build a workbench along here, because this one is too small for all my stuff that I need to have over here. But let's get cracking on this Juggernaut build. Okay guys, so the first thing I've got to do is remove all the support material. Now if you were going to print this in the same way that I have, you can see I've got support material here on the legs. You don't actually need any of that, I don't think, but I wasn't sure whether I needed it or didn't need it, so that's why I added it. And to the face here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's quite a bit of support material in there, and none of that is needed either. So if you were printing that, you wouldn't need any support material, I don't think. So I'm just going to get cracking, removing it all. I like to use a little multi-tool to get most of the support material off, and then I will sand it with 80 grit sandpaper. Okay guys, all the support materials now cleaned up and I'm ready to glue all the parts together. I'm just going to use some cheap super glue to do that, and then once they're all glued together I'll mix up some body filler and fill in the seam lines. Okay guys, the seam line is done on the arms and around the waist. I didn't glue the arms to the rest of the body because it was easier to work on the seam line without them connected to the rest of the body. But now that that's all done, I'm just going to get them glued on. Okay guys, we've finally reached the best part of the build. I'm going to start getting some colour on this model. I'm going to start on the arms, so I've taped up the rest of the body and I've used cling wrap on the bottom part. And I'm going to start on the arms using Vallejo skin tone, and I'm at 20 psi on the compressor and a 0.5mm needle. And I've also got on my tablet here an image for the colour scheme that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start getting this base coat on. Okay guys, the base coat is on and it's dried. Now I'm going to try this splatter technique that I got from this YouTuber. I've forgotten his name, so I'll just put it along the screen. He's really good at spray painting models, so I've got this from him. I'm going to use 7 different colours. I'm going to start with red and then work my way through them all. Okay guys, the splattering effect is now done. I'm not sure I've overdone it or not. I've never actually done it before, so it was my first time doing it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up there, but it looks pretty good. Hasn't been blended yet with another layer of skin tone, but I'm just going to mix up 2 colours now to do the veins. Okay guys, the veins are now done, and then I went back over it with the Vallejo skin tone base coat. Now I'm going to do some pre-shading. I'm going to use Vallejo medium flesh tone, which wasn't for airbrushing, so I just had to mix it up with some airbrush thinner, and then I'm just going to go in and just do some light shading. Okay guys, the pre-shading is now done. You probably can't see it under this light because it's like really bright, but it looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to do the final part of the shading. I'm going to go with the medium flesh tone again, but I added 2 drops of red. Okay guys, the arms are now done. Now I'm going to move on to the upper body and legs, and I'm going to do them with Vallejo Game Air red terracotta, and then after I've done that I'll do a little bit of shading. Okay guys, the base coat is now dry. Now I'm going to do some light shading. I'm going to go with the red terracotta again, but I've mixed in a couple of drops of Hull red and some airbrush thinner just to darken it slightly for the shading. Okay guys, the next part to do is the lower torso and the boots. I'm going to do it in Vallejo Model Air Red, and then once that's dried I'll do a little bit of shading. Okay guys, I've mixed up whole red and red together to just do some shading on the lower torso and the boots. Okay guys, just to finish off the boots, I'm going to use some black paint just around the bottom, and then I'm going to do the belt black as well. Okay guys, we've nearly come to the end of this paint job. I've just got to do the helmet and the armbands. I'm going to do them in metallic red. I've already gone around the edges and done it all really carefully. I'm going to give it 3 coats, and then once that's dried I'll give it a coat of gloss varnish. Okay guys, it's finished and I think it turned out great. I'm very happy with it. The guy who designed it did a fantastic job. I learned quite a lot with this build, mixing up the different shades of colour, especially the skin tone. So I've left a step-by-step in the description of the list of colours and processes I used, and there's also a link to the STL file. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment box below and I'll try and get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe. I've nearly hit 5,000 subscribers, so my next video will be a giveaway. Thanks for watching guys.